GuardianTV. I am a breast cancer survivor, and I'm here to talk about breast cancer awareness. Incidentally, my journey with cancer started with a lump, and I've done, many tests, something called a lumpectomy. I did that in the UK, and the doctors told me that it was fine, and I came back to Nigeria. After a few weeks, they now started looking for me, that I have to come back. They did not tell me why I had to come back. At that time, my husband was there. He was the person who called me that, Kenny, I need you to get on the next plane back to the UK. The doctors would like to see you. Just at that point, I knew the news was not good. So I remember asking him, am I going to die? Those were my first words to my husband.
I've already had hysterectomy, and now all I was hearing was mastectomy. I'm like, oh Lord, what have I done? That was really my reaction, that, come on, somebody has cursed me. That's your first reaction. But when I got there, they said, you have these options. Can we shrink it? And I said, no, I don't want shrink, because when I had fibroids, I had so much trouble with trying to shrink and don't shrink. So I opted out straight away for mastectomy.
I went through everything. I started by having chemotherapy. You have loads of tests before you even get to the chemotherapy. But I had the mastectomy, which was, really traumatic, because that's removal of your breast. And as at that time, I didn't even know that women lived with one breast. So getting to know that, then getting to be that woman that will live with one breast, was a lot of trauma for me. Then I went through the chemo. Then the chemo for like six months. Sometimes you're really ill, sometimes you're good. Then I went to the radio. After that, they put me on a drug called tamoxifen for about 5 years. Then maybe 4 years down the line, I decided that I was going to do a breast reconstruction. That's having, a breast put on the empty side.
Actually, when I had it, I was thinking, when you're young and your boobs are like, oh, I'm still growing. That's what my boob's still growing. Because nobody talked to me about cancer. Nobody sits me down and says, so you don't know the signs to look for.
My name is Ebola Anoze, and I'm the CEO, founder of care organization Public Enlightenment, a breast cancer awareness network. Some people feel that it's contagious. It's not. Some people also feel that breast cancer is for the poor, for those who are not wealthy. And another myth is the fact that they feel if you put money inside your bra, in your breast area, you're going to have cancer. That's another.
In Yoruba parlance, if you have a lump, they will say "Mosolata," meaning that is a cause of village people are doing you. That's number one. The second one is that people should allow the doctors to do their work. It's not my portion. It's not body's portion to have breast cancer. But hey, if you have breast cancer and you seek medical care on time, your chances of survival are so much better. And I'm just so grateful I'm in that category, because back then I used to do my breast self-examination So I found my lump myself. That's another thing. Religious people should stick to praying, not advising cancer patients. Don't go for treatment. Don't go for this. Then people should stop taking advantage of vulnerable people, because really, if you have breast cancer, you're vulnerable, you're desperate. You would listen to anybody who tell you that they have the cure for cancer.
The early we catch it, the early we can treat it. I don't know anything about prevention. People, I said, look, if I could have prevented it, I wouldn't be here. But because nobody came out to tell me stories of cancer, I don't know what to expect. But I took that on myself to be a breast cancer advocate. And I said, look, whatever it takes, I will do. Even in England, they say, oh, we can't see your people. I said, most of those pictures, I said, I will volunteer, don't worry. And up to today, I got something on my Instagram. Oh, you're on the web page of another breast cancer care. You know, just a black person. See, because I said, if I don't see someone like me, I won't be able to relate. And even here, when you see someone like you could relate to cancer that, oh, you're not alone. You know, the messages go out there, you're not alone. It's the cancer, the thinking of it that kills you. I'm not sure if the treatment would have killed you. It's like, what would they say? That is in your head. Nobody's looking at you. If you saw me on the street, do they write cancer on me? You know, life goes on. So that's what we want to portray, that there's life after cancer.
Yes, there is a hereditary factor. It's not a myth though, but there's this thing that if your baby should suck your breast and you already have cancer, it will affect the baby. It's part of being contagious, really. That doesn't really fly. But another thing is, they feel that when a man sucks the breast of his wife or a woman, she might have breast cancer. That the man might have breast cancer, and she might have breast cancer. You know, men also have breast cancer, but 1 in a million.
I believe at a very young age, we should tell people about breast self-examination, and it's not only limited to women alone. So if you catch them at a young age, this is something they will probably grow up with. And I also believe that if the government should have a policy about breast cancer awareness. Right now, most work is being done by NGOs, support group in breast cancer awareness. But if there is a policy in the UK, once you have over a certain age, they would always invite you to come for mammogram. But for men, maybe they should also talk to them in the same breath that they are talking to them about prostate cancer. Those are cancers specific to men.
The most important thing for me is for a lot of women, for Nigerian women, to be breast aware. That will really give me joy. But the most important thing that will give me utmost joy will be for Nigeria to have one functional cancer center. That is what I want to give me so much joy. If it's just one, we need 6 in the 6 geopolitical zones. But my basic happiness will be for us to have a national comprehensive cancer center.
Women need to know that once they're diagnosed with breast cancer, within 2 weeks they will start chemo, and at this they will start uninterrupted radiotherapy. Not that they do 1 week here, then they have to go to Ghana to do another week, or they now have to go to Maiduguri where the machine is working. It's very, very disruptive.
A lot of people don't really know that early detection can save one's life. And it's key for everybody to know that if you detect a cancerous lump early, they can remove it. And it hasn't spread, which means that it has not metastasized. So that area can be dealt with. You probably might not take chemotherapy, probably might just have radiotherapy done. So we always try and counsel a lot of people, and also counsel their family members as well, because it's not a journey that you can go alone. You need support. So we create a support system for them.
And I keep saying we present late. That's us black people. We don't talk about it. We isolate ourselves. We, stay away from it, But I wish I had someone to direct me, like a black person to hold my hand. And actually the first other black person I know was Kende. Kende said, oh, I've had mine, she's going on 20 years. So she's an inspiration to me. Mine was 9 years ago. So if she had it, and I look to people like, if you survive, definitely I'll survive. I don't look back and say, oh, I'm going to die. I don't even think. Sometimes I don't think more about cancer now. I think about exercise. I told you I do more exercise. I've forgotten my cancer journey. It was worse, I've gone over it. I tried. Sometimes at the back of your head.
There are lots of things we can do to aid breast cancer prevention. The number one, it is free. Do your breast self-examination regularly. If you can't do it monthly, do it regularly. Then you owe it to yourself to know your breast. So if there is any change, if there are any changes, you would know on time. So, and another thing we can do to aid breast cancer awareness is we teach one another.